By the way, a new out-of-this-world discovery has some asking, what in the world is this? Take a look. NASA scientists say it's a comet. That's what they say. They've named it the 3-1 Atlas interstellar object, which was discovered last month. But Harvard professor Avi Loeb says aspects of these images, including the brightness around the object and its unusual trajectory, suggests it's not natural. Instead, he argues it could be alien technology. You heard that right. So, does this mean ET is real? Joining us to discuss is Professor Avi Loeb. He is the director of the Institute for Theory and Computation at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics and the former chair of Harvard's astronomy department. So, Professor, you've got the goods. Please let me ask you, why do you think that there is perhaps some mystery here that you're raising questions?
Well, thanks for having me. The object looks strange. It reflects a lot of sunlight, and from that, one infers that the diameter is 20 kilometers. And there is not enough rocky material in interstellar space to provide such a big object every decade. We surveyed the sky for a decade and found this one. More typically, we expect an object that large once per 10,000 years. And moreover, this object has some glow in front of it, not behind it. There is no tail, as usually is the case for comets. That's something that was clearly seen by the Hubble Space Telescope. And more perplexing is the fact that its trajectory is aligned with the plane of the orbits of the planets around the sun. The chance for that happening is 1 in 500. And the timing of arrival into the inner solar system is very fine-tuned. It passes very close to Mars, Venus, and then Jupiter, with a probability of 1 in 20,000. If you were to change the arrival time randomly, it wouldn't be so close to these planets. It arrives closest to the sun when the Earth is on the opposite side, so we can't observe it when it's able to make a maneuver. We won't be able to see it. And so the question arises as to whether this trajectory was designed by some intelligence. My recommendation is to continue to monitor it, get as much data as possible, because if it doesn't follow the track that we expect after its closest approach to the sun on October 29th this year, the stock market may crash.
Wow. Wait, I didn't get the stock market connection. Professor, what's the stock market connection?
Well, I already got a text message from someone who said that he's trading options on the volatility of the market if this object ends up being technological, because obviously it will change the future of humanity. Of course, the question is whether money would mean anything if we are being visited. But the best way to proceed is in the scientific method of collecting data as much as possible, not assuming anything, just monitoring it and deciding whether it maneuvers, whether it has some artificial lights, whether it looks like a technological object. And if it ends up being a comet, so be it. But in the next decade, we will find a new interstellar object every few months by the Rubin Observatory in Chile. So we're entering a new era now, and I'm saying we should keep our eyes open. Maybe there is a smarter kid on our cosmic block, and we should be open to the idea that we might be visited sometime in the future.
Okay, so I guess the stock market thing, just to play that back, is if the technology that this alien potential that you're saying were to come to Earth, that would mean very big things. I will store that away in my business option trading for the future. I do got to press you, though, because NASA, many experienced scientists, they say that this is a comet. They've got a lot of telescopes, a lot of equipment. I hear you say it doesn't seem like how a comet would normally react, but I mean, do we know enough about space to totally rule that out when NASA says it is?
Yeah, I mean, many characteristics of this object are not typical. The trajectory is fine-tuned. It's too big to be a rock. And moreover, it has glow in front of it instead of a tail behind it, like a comet looks. I'm just saying, scientists often assume that whatever we see must represent something we already know. That's human nature. We've seen rocks in the solar system for many years, just like seeing rocks in your backyard. But when objects come from the street, you need to check whether it might be, a tennis ball thrown by a neighbor. You can't assume that everything that comes from the street is the same as the rocks you have in your backyard.
So we need more investigation. Professor, we're running out of time, but you're not necessarily saying it is alien technology, or do you think that there is a possibility, or how probable do you think that is?
I actually define the scale where 0 is a natural object and 10 is definitely technological, and I put it at 4 right now.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm suggesting using the spacecraft Juno that is in orbit around Jupiter to monitor it as it comes close to Jupiter.
Thank you,
in March
Professor.
2026.
We so appreciate you. I am not ready for the arrival at all.
Financial markets to aliens, both mystifying. Thank you, Avi Loeb.